Your parents say buy. Every finance influencer says rent and invest the difference. They can't both be right. But here's what nobody in this debate ever tells you. They're both missing the same variable. And when you actually run it over 30 years, rent increases, mortgage interest, property taxes, maintenance, appreciation, opportunity cost, all of it, the gap will reshape how you think about housing for the rest of your life. Let's make this completely fair and realistic. Ryan rents. Brandon buys. They both earn $70,000 a year. They both have $65,000 saved. That's realistic if you've been disciplined for 5 to 6 years on that income. No magic, no inheritance. Same mid-sized city, same neighborhood type, same commute distance. And here's the rule. Both of them invest money every month going forward. That's the only honest way to run this comparison, not one lump sum sitting untouched for 30 years. Brandon uses his $65,000 as a 20% down payment on a $310,000 home. 30-year fixed mortgage at 6.8%. Monthly principal and interest is $1,615. Add property taxes at $270 a month, homeowner's insurance at $140. Brandon's total housing cost is roughly $2,025 a month. That doesn't include a single dollar of maintenance. Ryan rents a comparable place for $1,500 a month. He takes the $525 monthly gap between his rent and Brandon's costs and splits it. $400 goes into an S&P 500 index fund every month. $125 stays in a cash buffer for life flexibility. He also has his full $65,000 invested from day one at roughly 8% annually. On day one, Ryan looks like the smartest person in the room. Lower monthly, no closing costs, no responsibility. Brandon just wrote a $9,500 check in closing costs before he even touched a light switch. But here's what neither of them sees yet. Every dollar Brandon pays is slowly buying a piece of something. Every dollar Ryan pays disappears the moment it leaves his account. But here's the part the rent versus buy debate almost never names. Ryan's rent doesn't disappear. It goes somewhere. It goes to a landlord who is doing exactly what Brandon is doing, but with Ryan's money instead of their own. Someone is building equity from Ryan's rent every single month. That someone is not Ryan. The question was never really, should I rent or buy? The real question is, whose finish line are you funding? Now, if I told you Brandon's costs are fixed, I'd be lying to you. And that's exactly what most videos in this space do. The mortgage is fixed, but the mortgage is not Brandon's full housing cost, and this matters enormously. Property taxes rise. In most U.S. markets, they increase 2 to 3% a year. Over 10 years, Brandon's $270 monthly tax bill becomes closer to $340 to $360. Homeowners insurance spikes, especially in flood zones, fire corridors, and storm-prone states. Premiums have risen 20 to 30% in some markets in the last 3 years alone. Maintenance. Budget 1 to 2% of home value per year. On a $310,000 home, that's $3,100 to $6,200 annually. Some years it's a $200 faucet. Other years, it's a $9,000 roof, an $8,000 HVAC replacement, or a $14,000 foundation issue that ruins your summer and cannot be postponed. And here's the number nobody puts on the spreadsheet. At year 25, that roof isn't $9,000 anymore. At 3% annual inflation, it's closer to $18,000. The HVAC isn't $8,000, it's $16,000. The fixed cost of homeownership is fixed in exactly one column. Everything around it moves, and it moves upward. In year one of Brandon's mortgage at 6.8%, he pays roughly $20,400 in total mortgage payments. Of that, approximately $16,900 goes straight to the bank as interest. Only $3,500 chips away at what he actually owes. That interest evaporates exactly like rent, except nobody calls it that.
Ryan, meanwhile, pays $18,000 in rent. His $65,000 investment has grown to about $70,200. His $400 monthly contributions add another $5,000 to the portfolio. Total invested assets, roughly $75,200. Through year one, Ryan is ahead, and it doesn't feel like a competition yet.
Let's run 4 checkpoints. Clean numbers, same accounting throughout. Year 3. Ryan paid $54,000 in rent. Portfolio, approximately $90,000. $65K compounding plus $14,400 in contributions at 8%. Net position, $90,000 in liquid assets. Brandon paid $72,900 in total housing costs, mortgage, taxes, insurance. Add $9,500 closing costs and roughly $10,000 in maintenance. Total out-of-pocket, $92,400. Equity built through principal payments, about $10,500. Home value at 3.5% annual appreciation, approximately $344,000. Total equity including appreciation, approximately $54,500. Year 3 verdict? Ryan leads on liquid assets. Brandon leads on total net worth. It's close, and it's about to shift. Year 6. Here is where leverage starts doing something remarkable. Brandon's home is now worth approximately $381,000. Mortgage balance, around $279,000. Equity, $102,000. He put $65,000 down to control a $310,000 asset. He is earning appreciation on $310,000, not just $65,000. That is a 4.75 to 1 leverage ratio, and it is the single biggest financial advantage homeowners have that almost never gets discussed in the monthly payment debate. Ryan's portfolio, approximately $138,000, $65K original plus $28,800 in contributions, compounding at 8%. His rent has grown at 3% annually. It's now $1,640 a month. He's approaching what Brandon pays, but Brandon's payment builds equity. He buys another month in someone else's property. Year 6 verdict? Brandon's total net worth edges ahead. The scoreboard has quietly reversed. Year 10. Ryan paid roughly $200,000 in total rent. Portfolio, approximately $185,000 in invested assets. Net position, $185,000. Liquid, accessible, no debt attached. Brandon paid roughly $290,000 in all housing costs combined. Home now worth approximately $450,000. Mortgage balance, around $258,000. Equity, $192,000. Net position, $192,000, but tied up in walls. On net worth, they are nearly equal, but Brandon's position accelerates from here, and Ryan's rent keeps climbing. Year 30. Brandon makes his final mortgage payment. Home value at 3.5% appreciation, approximately $870,000. Monthly housing cost drops to taxes, insurance, and maintenance, roughly $700 to $900 a month. Ryan's rent at 3% annual growth from $1,500, approximately $3,640 a month. Every month, still rising, no finish line. That monthly gap at year 30, over $2,700 every single month for the rest of Ryan's life. And Ryan's portfolio at 8% with $400 monthly contributions over 30 years, approximately $710,000. Impressive, liquid, genuinely valuable. Brandon's net worth, $870,000 home equity, nearly mortgage-free, plus whatever he saved beyond housing. They are in the same wealth ballpark at year 30, but Brandon's monthly cost is $700. Ryan's is $3,640 and compounding upward. That is not the same retirement.
If I only showed you the case for buying, I would be doing what every real estate influencer does. Renting genuinely wins in 3 specific situations, and I'll run the actual numbers. Under 5 years. Closing costs in, Agent fees out, minimal equity built. The break-even point on most purchases is 5 to 7 years. Stay less than that, rent. Full stop. The math is unambiguous. When a home costs $1.1 million but rents for $3,200 a month, the leverage math breaks down. In San Francisco, Manhattan, and coastal LA, renting and investing the gap is frequently the stronger financial position. One viewer said it perfectly. Rented for 8 years, moved cities twice for better jobs, net worth grew faster than most homeowners they know. If renting lets you take a $20,000 salary jump by relocating, that income compounding over 10 years can outpace any equity gain. Renting as a strategic career tool is a completely legitimate wealth-building path. But, and this is the discipline number most people skip, the renter strategy only works if the gap is actually invested. If Ryan invests $400 a month faithfully, his year 30 portfolio is $710,000. If he invests $160 a month and absorbs the rest into lifestyle, nicer car, more dinners, subscriptions he forgets about, his year 30 portfolio is closer to $290,000. That $420,000 difference is not a math problem, it is a behavior problem. Be completely honest with yourself about which version of Ryan you actually are. After 30 years, Brandon is ahead, but not because buying always wins. He is ahead because he locked in a fixed principal payment in a world where everything else keeps getting more expensive. He is ahead because leverage let his $65,000 earn returns on a $310,000 asset. He is ahead because every payment moved him toward a finish line, and at year 30, his housing costs dropped to almost nothing. But Ryan is not broke, not even close. If he maintained his investment discipline, he built serious wealth. The gap is in the monthly cost of living at retirement, not in net worth. And in a high-cost city with a career that required mobility, his path may have been the smarter one. The real trap is not renting, and it is not buying. The real trap is treating a 30-year decision as a monthly payment comparison and never asking what this costs you at year 10, year 20, year 30. Before you decide, answer 4 questions honestly. How long am I staying? Under 5 years? Rent, no debate. What is my local price to rent ratio? Will I actually invest the monthly difference? Not plan to, actually do it. Do I have an emergency fund that can absorb a $12,000 repair without panic? The answer that includes all 4 is the only answer that matters for your specific life. So, where are you right now? Are you committed to buying as soon as possible? Renting and genuinely investing every dollar of the monthly gap? Or renting now with a plan to buy in the next 5 to 10 years? And be completely honest with yourself. If you chose option 2, are you actually investing the difference or just planning to? Drop it in the comments. I read every single one. And if you want to see what happens when you rent strategically for 10 years, build a real down payment, and buy with a much shorter mortgage, that math cuts the interest cost in half, and the numbers might change everything you think you know.